Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, what you are about to experience is something unbeholds to mankind itself. What you are about to see is something unexpected, something no one has ever beheld across the gaze of their visual spectrum. It is a luxury unbeknownst to anyone with running blood in their body. You are about to witness
Ram Film Reviews. And we're back.
What is up, people? I am Randall. This is my amazing, awesome friend Mac, and we are returning once again. Once again, we are returning to your phone screens, right? Mostly it's phone screens.
Phone screens, you know.
Some people do it on laptops, but I think it's a very
We're
minimum.
back, you know, on your couch, your bed.
Yeah. Not too many people do it like me where I just watch on the laptops.
Thanks for saving our spots on that comfy couch. You know, Randall, what is reality?
I'm not sure what reality is or dreams are after what we've experienced today.
But do you know what reality is? Are you here? Are we there?
I no idea where we are.
Do you fancy this fancy one?
Yeah.
Made by yours truly.
Yes.
With a machete.
I literally like bushcrafted a wand outside for this specific review. Actually, it was for the reel. Right?
Yes.
The reel that we posted. It was more for that. We had no idea what to expect out of this movie, but it's literally called, as you can see right here, The Wizard of Gore.
Yeah.
And with that, we officially commence the review. So, The Wizard of Gore... nice. The Wizard of Gore was a movie I picked up because I forgot what movie it was that we watched, and we saw like a small clip trailer of The Wizard of Gore, and it gravitated to me, and I was like, I remember seeing this name for this movie somewhere, and I think one of our good friends, Retro VHS, Rick, he had it, and he had it for sale on his page at one point, and it caught my attention then because I was like, holy fuck, with the movie called The Wizard of Gore, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But hey, Lindsay.
The trailer we watched.
The trailer we watched was for the remake.
The 2007.
Yeah.
Which surprisingly, the famous
Jeffrey Combs. Yeah,
from
from Reanimator. Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of people just know him from Reanimator, but he's done so many H.P. Lovecraft movies. Mm-hmm. He's done so many amazing things. I love Jeffrey fucking Combs. Like, he is amazing to me. But as soon as I saw that ad, the first thing I did was like, I wanted to own this movie, so I went on eBay.
Yeah.
You know, because I want to, serve the devil.
Good old
That's called Evil Bay.
Yes. You beat me to it.
So
it's like every other fucker that outbids me.
So I went on to Evil Bay, and I started searching for the movie. And then I got fortunate. I found somebody who had listed a 3-package deal, and it was on bidding. Huh?
Do you remember the other two or no?
Yeah, one of them is Murder Party, I think.
Ooh.
And actually, they're like right here. Murder Party and...
But yeah, he won that bid.
Dead and Breakfast. Dead and Breakfast, which I think Dead and Breakfast, Angel from Retroitis, Funknatius, told me that movie was really good. But I got lucky and got a bidding where nobody jumped on it, and I got it for the minimum that was on the bidding, and I got 3-package deal for it. I got 3 movies. The person who sold it did a great job of packing it because he put bubble wrap inside of it and everything like that. He did an incredible job. But what we came to realize the second we put this movie into the magical device used to view
the unrealistic device.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's used to view these movies. Everything looked very old school.
Yes.
And I just figured, okay, this is probably a company that likes doing movies like in old school style, which is nothing uncommon. We've seen movies like that before.
There's one that's kind of like a giallo fic about a vampire chick, and I can't remember the name of it off my...
No, it wasn't Vamp. No. It was a long name movie. I can't remember what it was, but it was one of those that's in Fangoria. In that list that I told you, the 300 list.
Yeah.
It's in there. I forgot the name of it, but it's an amazing film, but it's newer, but it feels very older.
Okay.
And it's one of those, like, they kind of filmed it in a way where it gave you the feeling that it's a movie from the 70s. So I thought it was going to be that. So I just figured, like, I looked at the back of the case, and I'm like, oh, 2000.
And I was like, no, it can't be.
And then,
it
then you're
felt
like,
so
oh.
70s to me. I was like, Randall, this is from the 70s. Like, nah, it's 2000. I was like, what?
So I just figured, right?
Yeah.
And then you pointed out, you were like, oh, you mean 2007? I'm like, no, not 2007. It says 2000. I'm like, oh, so no, that's the one from the 70s. I'm like, holy shit. Okay, so I guess it's from the 70s. So I ended up getting the original release, which was done by a company called Something Weird.
Yeah.
And absolutely every movie we saw leading to the opening screen that you get on this DVD was Something Weird.
I had to look up the majority. The one that stood out for me was She Freak.
Yeah, She Freak looked great because it was a disfigured girl or whatever.
She had like a tentacle, I think, or something like that.
And it looked great. Like, it looked great. So, but yeah, it was all 70s movies, but in very much to that gory or kind of crazy, out of place kind of like horror that wouldn't fit into the common horror from that era. Like, you know, like most of the horror from that era would probably be like giant ants and fucking giant mantises and giant gerbils and everything giant. Everything was giant. That's what it was. Thing of Fear was an animal getting big or an insect getting big. But, you never really got, something that looked like, She Freak?
She Freak.
There was a bunch of other ones. I can't remember the titles, but every title sounded amazing.
And the website is just so retro.
Yeah, it gives you that feel right off the back. So
they sell DVDs, Blu-rays, pornography. I looked into that. Super cheap, like $4.99, $7.99.
Is that all like 70s porn?
Yeah, man. Harry, Harry Bush nuns type shit like that. Look at that, bro. It's such
a beautiful website.
And on the side, you have the categories.
Yeah, so you just go to somethingweird.com and you'll see what we're talking about. Like,
She Freak.
She Freak is right there. The Curious Dr. Hump.
Dr. Hump.
So many different title hairs. Reefer Madness. That sounds interesting. The Devil's Sleep. Like, so many kind of like insane names, man. Like, I love the way, and again, like the appearance of it.
Go up.
Is
streaming on Night Flight.
Oh, so I guess that's a streaming service.
Nice. See, look at that, something new. Night Flight
Plus.
So
Night Flight Plus is what it seems like. Nice. Like Night Flight TV, and they probably have like a pro one that lets you. The free one's probably gonna be like Tubi, probably that gets ads and stuff like that, and they maybe have.
I Drink Your Blood.
Oh, Pieces is in here. Oh, I Drink Your Blood. Yeah. We have to finish that one. We have to rewatch the one that I bought because remember we thought the one that I bought is the unrated, and we don't know if the one that we watched was unrated.
Gone Pope Massacre. Definitely. Oh, like a kiss.
Yeah, so many. Nosferatu. So there has to be a touch of Tubi into this. The Tubi world, the way that they handle that streaming service.
Definitely gonna look into that.
And this will be fun to witness. But so somethingweird.com is the website for the company that developed this movie and many, many other movies with fucking fantastic titles. Yeah. That literally, the first thing I said to Mac when I started seeing like a string of like 4 or 5 of them, I'm like, did we just find another fucking person that's going to give us like 20 movies we want to watch?
Like, what was the other one? Paul Nachi?
Yeah, Nachi was the other one that we
still have yet to find more. I mean, we could find them, but...
They were on eBay, but we were trying to see if maybe we got lucky outside of eBay before that, but that might not be the case because that is a really niche director to find stuff of. But, but Nachi was one of them that literally, like, we saw his stuff, and then you look down the list of all his movies, and we're like, fuck, we gotta watch everything this guy's done. Yeah. And now we watch, and no, the other one was Paramount. Oh, so it happened with Paramount after we saw Rectima, right? We see Rectima, and then we're like, oh my god, look at all these other fucking movies that look ridiculous, but must be as fun as Rectima, hopefully.
For real, man.
And now this guy, Herschel
He has a middle name, but I forgot. It's Lewis. Herschel Lewis.
Herschel Lewis, right?
It's Gordon Lewis. Let me double
Yeah, it
check.
might be Herschel Gordon Lewis. Herschel Gordon Lewis, which he's left us. He's already passed away. So
About 4 or 5 years.
rest
5
in
years
power,
ago.
Herschel. Yeah, he was like, what was it, 95?
90 years old.
90 years old.
He died here
and he
in
died
Florida.
in Florida. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been given the title of, he's co-owner of the title Godfather of Gore.
Yeah, the other one, as we all know it, you know.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce it. Fulci.
Fulci.
Yeah.
Fulci, especially,
Lucio Fulci.
I mean, I can literally bring out the classic Fulci. It's right there. Right next to Mr. Bills.
Mr. Bills. The Bills. Mr. Bills.
Yeah, because now my movie rec is nearby us now.
Right.
So, yeah, so Lucio Fulci, who created this masterpiece called Zombie. This is a beautiful piece that I was able to pick up that actually has still the card in there.
By Rick, right?
Yeah, actually I picked this one from Rick.
Retro VHS.
Yeah, retro VHS. So, beautiful film, like...
Yeah, it's a collector's edition, right?
Yeah, it is a collector's edition, but still, that cover, man, that cover is just beautiful. So, yeah, Herschel Gordon Lewis and Lucio Fulci shared the title of Godfathers of Gore. And it was easy to see almost instantaneously with this movie why that was the case.
Man, it was just...
Yeah, this was a ride. This was a ride, this movie. It left us with a lot of fucking questions.
Yes.
But we don't feel... At least personally, I don't feel like even though I got left with questions, I don't feel unfulfilled.
Correct.
Like, it left me wondering what the possibilities are. And I think we've had that happen with another movie before. And I can't recall which one it was. Because we've done already, like, plenty of reviews here that I've lost track of a lot of things. But I know there was another movie where the ending left us, like, clueless. But we were still, like, it left us trying to come up with an idea of what it could be.
Tapes or no?
Was it Poughkeepsie?
I felt like it was...
Oh, yeah, it was Poughkeepsie. Because, remember, I came up with that idea that maybe... In the end, the director that was filming the whole entire documentary was the killer. You know, like that whole shit. Like, we never got an answer because they never caught the guy, and nobody ever really saw the guy. And I think the only girl that survived it, she stayed loyal, and then she ended up did she
killing herself.
Yeah.
She couldn't live without him. Yeah.
Yeah. So, this movie left us like that. But it starts off, which is, why we started off with that little fucking jokey intro. It starts off with that. Like, somebody who comes out and gives a speech, basically, saying, like, hey, not for the faint of heart. This ain't an easy movie. Enjoy this.
You got kids? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you may want to... Or is that the trailer that had that only?
The trailer, yes, you're right.
The trailer had that, not the movie.
We didn't watch the full trailer because I was like...
Yeah, we only... Because I wanted to get an idea of what to title.
Yeah, blind watch, Yeah. We didn't want no spoilers or nothing.
Yeah.
But, it starts off with
Montag!
Montag!
Yeah.
Played by the crew member.
Crew member.
Was it Randy Sager?
No, Ray Sager.
Ray Sager.
Yeah.
So basically, we say crew member because the actual actor that was supposed to be played by Montag, played Montag. He got a dispute with somebody in the crew, and walked off.
Wasn't it the director himself?
No, the director. I think it was the director's friend, like Fred Sandy or something.
Oh, okay.
And he walked off, and then Sager stepped up, and last minute they put on makeup.
I mean, I thought maybe you were gonna say when you were reading the story, I thought he was gonna say like, then he read the script and he walked off the stage, some shit like that. Like maybe the guy was like, "Hey, you're gonna be a wizard." And you kill people.
Your hands are gonna be, full of guts. Full of guts.
You'll understand why we're saying that now. But yeah, so Montag ends up being a magician. I don't know why the choice of wizard was the word, but he's a magician. A magician doing a stage show, and he starts giving off a speech, and it's a speech he gives on in every show, and it's the same speech every single time, which is about how, as humans, we are attracted to violence, we are pulled into the gore and the blood and guts, and why we are willing to not stop, no, to not keep going or look past an accident, but look into it and want to see, like, oh my God, is that person dead? Like, you want to see the blood, and you know, maybe it's not for everybody, not everybody, but still,
like
that as a humanity itself is, you know, we watch these violent films, we play violent video games and all this stuff, and that's a lot of humankind and mankind is attracted to that violence. Doesn't mean that we're going to perform the violence, but we have an appeal to it for some reason.
Yeah, and the way he said it was just,
it's chills.
It was just, it's so well said. He said, like, oh, we have the privilege, the luxury of it being, like, brought to our attention.
Yeah.
You know, back in when Roman times, the
gladiators, yeah, the Roman gladiators.
You know, they did that for fun, you know. And nowadays, modern times, you know, you got these cartel videos, shit's up on the web, you can search it up, and it's there in your face. And, you know, some of it just become what's it, desensitized. Hey, how do you pronounce this?
Desensitized.
Kim Basinger. Family Guy reference. But yeah, you know, it's just some of us don't. It doesn't bother us. Of course, viewing it from like TV, but in real life, that's completely different.
Yeah.
You know, for everybody. But yeah, just the way he talks about, you know, gore and death, it's just like an art, you know, like. And what was it that he said? I forgot. But anyways. In the back, and he's on the stage. He has a audience.
He goes one of the quotes here. So yes, I am Montag, master of illusion, defier of the laws of reason. What is real? Are you certain you know what reality is? How do you know that at this second you aren't sleeping in your bed, dreaming that you are in this theater? So again, it goes into that kind of like unique speech, and you know, and this is why we put the little clever guy here, is because he wears a fucking cape like Dracula and shit.
But did he really fall? Or was it a dream?
Yeah, was that real or was that a dream? But you get this feel for him being the presenter that he is. And the way he drives down what he's going to do into you. Like, basically giving you the idea that what I'm about to give you is what you want. Which is, you are going to see torture. You are going to see blood. You are going to see these actions happen for real.
Without the covering. You
but
know,
it's, you know, yeah, exactly. With no coverings. You're not going to see the trick or anything like that. And
the audience is just eating it all up. Like,
yeah, they're there.
They're like,
Yeah, they're there, ready for it, and none of them are there. Like, is he saying he's about to murder somebody?
Cops, you know?
Is he actually admitting to about to perform a murder on stage? Nothing. No, people are just like, oh my god.
You know what? Let me just. You know, I want to see it first. You know,
yeah.
See if it's real.
So, the first trick ends up being saw the woman in half.
No, wait, it's on decapitation.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's the intro. The intro is on decapitation.
And something that Randall loved, Montag's laughter, which it took me a while to enjoy it, but Randall loved it from the beginning. It was really creepy.
Yeah. He had like it was really like, and the way the perfect word I can use to kind of describe would be, it's like a sadistic kind of psychotic laugh, you know, and it gave to that character, and it's even more impressive now. Knowing that was just a crew member. It wasn't like an actual actor. Maybe he was taking acting classes on the side. Who knows? Yeah. Maybe he was part of the crew because he was trying to get an opening into like that world.
Or maybe he got tips, you know, being part of the crew member. Who knows?
Could be. But either way, he nailed the creep factor on point for this character. But yeah, so the initial first gore scene you get is his own beheading because he has a guillotine on stage. He gets on there, puts his head in there, laughing. That laughter comes up while you go pan up to the guillotine, and guillotine comes up, and you see a real quick slice of the head, And you can kind of tell, obviously, that the head...
It's obvious
that it's a prop head.
Prop mannequin head.
You know, and at this time, you know, there is the tricks aren't at the level where they are now, where you can make it look a lot more realistic.
Correct. And like I said, the head, of course, is obviously fake, but
what
attracted me to the actual act was the neck part, like the
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Mm-hmm. They did that effect incredibly well.
The blood was running, like the what is it? You said the veils or vials.
The arteries. Everything was the ventricles. Still. Everything you see in there. I don't know if it's a ventricle or an artery. I'm not a fucking doctor. I don't know anatomy to the fullest. But whatever fucking things in your throat.
Yeah.
Well, not even your throat, because it cuts them from like here down. So basically, it's like whatever's from here down
within your neck.
Within your neck, whatever. That itself was just like pumping out blood and like. It was throbbing. It was the tremble was there. It all looked so well done, and that's why I was like, "Damn, I want to watch that cut again." And then when we rewatched that, so we noticed the head, like really in detail, because like, oh no, that's definitely a prop head. I mean, the funniest botch has to be this scene, though.
Which one?
This scene had the funniest botch in the whole fucking movie, I think, to me, because right after that. The body itself tries to reach for the basket. Tries to reach for the basket to go ahead and show you I'm still alive, even though I'm headless.
But the angle is just so badly placed.
The camera angle they chose to use for this was so bad. You just see like a glimmer of like his hair.
Yeah, the hair
come out like this while he's doing that. So immediately you're like, oh, and anybody else in the studio were like, fucking fake, fake. That's not a real illusion.
Boo this man. So yeah, you get the basket, dumps the head for you can see the gore and whatnot.
Yep.
And the whole, James Bond, Batman spinning terrible job of the beheading.
Well, classic 70s, right?
Yeah.
Classic 70s. Quick little spiral transitions through the credits to freeze frames in areas where they leave the names up and stuff like that. And then it continues, right? It continues into the rest of the act, and the rest of the act just does become the saw in the half trick that many people would know that any magician performs almost always at this point, right? Like that's a very cliche trick, and then he explains like, I'm gonna do the saw the woman in half, but the difference is you're gonna be able to see it because she's not gonna be in a box, and not only that, but I'm not doing it with a fucking handsaw. I am doing it with this, and he takes out a fucking real chainsaw.
Yeah, electric saw, huge as shit. It's huge.
That was a really dope fucking saw.
Yeah, he actually tested it out with a 2x4 or whatnot.
Yeah, to prove that it was a real saw. Mm-hmm. All of the tricks that any magician would do, right? Gets somebody to come on stage, puts her on there, begins the sawing. Incredible gore.
She's screaming her head off. Yeah. But to the audience, she's emotionless, like nothing's happening.
Yeah.
They don't see the blood.
They see the blade.
Yeah.
But they don't see the blood. We see the blood.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to explain that.
Yeah.
But I really don't want to explain that. But I think you're gonna guess that out right now. Like if you don't guess that right now, I'm guessing. I don't know what to tell you, but it's pretty obvious at that stage. Did my Alexa just beep?
Yeah, I heard something.
Whatever. Anyway, so he saws her in half. All of a sudden, the trick is done, and you see her get up. She's fine, normal. Done.
Yeah, he picks her. He stands her up. She
walks away.
She goes back, possibly to her seat. We don't know. And then she's.
Well, no, she immediately apparently left. Because remember they talked about it later on, like when they were with the police officers, that they were like, oh, she was probably a plant because nobody remembered seeing her in the audience. True. So that more than likely she was somebody that he met outside and then brought specifically.
So she left her after the act, and we see her going to a restaurant.
Yep, silent. Like the waiter's like, I guess bitch don't want to talk.
He's like,
I don't know.
Table for how many? And he's like, all right, sits her down, looks at her like, oh.
Yeah. And then
just another customer walks by and just
Screams.
screams and laughs and like she.
This
smirks.
was a better scream, right?
Yeah,
this
but
was one of the better screams.
But she started smirking after. I don't know if you noticed. She was like,
Yeah, I did notice that. But she had a better initial scream than one we'll talk about later.
Compared to what's coming.
We'll get that. We'll get to that.
Yeah, so then we see her laying on the floor with just blood on her stomach, like she was sawed in half for real.
So at this point is where me and Max start like trying to figure out, okay, what the fuck just happened? Mm-hmm. Which my initial guess was, okay, maybe he heals them, right? Like maybe his power is to be able to heal them momentarily, and then later on the wound just returns or some shit like
when
that.
they're like out of sight, like super away from him.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, and honestly, we still don't know the answer because that is literally what left us clueless. Like we don't know how that part of the illusion is completed.
Correct.
Because the twist ending just leaves us wondering what the fuck.
Yeah, this movie was...
it got bizarre at the end. Like the ending was like one of those like, what the fuck is going on right now? But, rewind. So we experienced that, you know? And
then, after that kill, we get... kind of already get introduced to Judy and Wayne.
Yeah.
The actors that play Sherry and Jack. So Sherry's TV host for like midwives or something. Housewives. There you go, my bad. And then Jack is a sports related.
Is it midwives like the Mormon thing?
No, I think midwife is like something with pregnancy or something like that.
Is it
right? Like
I don't know. Maybe it is. Yeah. Oh, a health professional cares for mothers and newborns.
So, oh shit! It's fucking 4 or 5 in the morning. But anyways, and then Jack, he's like a sports writer.
Yeah, there you go, Lindsay. Thank you. Yeah, no, I had to look it up.
We got one viewer. Yes,
Lindsay.
Thank you for sticking around.
Lindsay,
and Jack is like I said, the sports writer.
I don't know why I immediately jumped to Mormons. Like I just thought that sounds like a Mormon term to me. I don't know.
So fucking Jack is a sports writer.
Yes.
Boring as fucking job according to how he, they show him.
Yeah.
And his fucking 2 coworkers in this huge ass room.
Yeah.
And AKA fucking fake ass detective. Wannabe.
No, I mean there's a lot to unpack with this part. There's so much to unpack with this. Okay, so we get introduced, like you said, we get introduced to Jack and Sherry, right? Sherry runs the housewife show, and Jack the sports writer. She, on her show, starts talking about Montag's show,
after
right?
the first show she witnessed, which was the first... So,
she's like we see Jack in his room or whatever, but he still hasn't seen the newspaper yet or any of that stuff because he does that when he's alright. So whatever. But Sherry goes, okay, hey, we saw this show of this magician guy. You won't believe the stuff that he does and blah 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 blah. He is amazing. He chopped a woman in half right in front of us with no cover. We saw it all, all that stuff.
And she says that she's gonna have him on his show. Without even asking the fucker.
She just immediately
like, he's
confirmed
it. He's gonna say yes to me. Yeah, I'm a woman.
So, when she goes and talks,
pussy power.
When she gets to talk to Montag, Montag is saying like, "No, I'm not gonna do shit." And
this guy said, "Get the fuck out."
Yeah, but he said it in that fucking he maintains that magician.
Yeah.
Speak through the entire time. Like, he doesn't change that tone. So it was, I must ask you to leave now!
Yeah.
So it is fucking amazing.
I'm sorry, but...
I love
what do you say? Like, he doesn't interview? He doesn't...
I do not grant
there you go.
interviews. But, it was, fantastic. Now, obviously, this probably did have to do with the guy probably just being a crew member. The way he did all that was almost over exaggerated.
Okay.
But really, to me, was what made the character better.
Oh yeah.
I think the over exaggeration worked in this case. Like, it wasn't like when we watched one of those December movies that the Knives Out one, right? Wasn't it? No, not the Knives Out one. Was it Knives Out one?
What?
Where like the mom was trying to kill everybody or some shit and ended up being the blind sister.
Oh yeah, that I forgot the name, but yeah.
But yeah, like that one, that the actors were always over dramatic, but
family,
it was
no, not Family. That's the one with the director contacted us.
yeah, no, not that one. No, this was one of the bad ones.
Yeah, it was horrible. I can't remember.
But it was because of the overacting that threw us off, you know. But either way, his overdramatic acting in here hit for me, right? But either way, so he talks to the girl. Girl says, "I want to interview you." He says, "I do not grant interviews." And he goes, "I must ask you to leave." And then I won't tell you why, but then he changes his mind. And when he changes his mind, he tells her, "I'm going to leave tickets for you at the box office. Please return."
Or he'll be mad if you don't come.
Yes. And then he might reconsider. But anyway, so they end up going back to the show. It takes her some convincing of Jack to get him to go back to another show. He doesn't want to go.
This way, already he's suspicious of Montag.
Well, no, he's thinking that it was fake. He was thinking it was fake before on the call. He was thinking it was fake. Still,
because he already saw the newspaper.
No, it was right after he hung up the phone. Because then he would have told her on the phone.
Okay.
He did the call, hangs up the phone, picks up the paper, and he's like.
Okay. Oh yeah, they go talk to him after the second show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they go together to talk to him after the second show. But yeah, so it takes her some convincing to get him to want to go, and he's like, "Okay, well, fuck it."
Yeah, because he's a sports lover. She's like, "How many sports shows or events?
How many events have I gone to? Do you think I wanted to go to that wrestling event?" Yeah, that's the kind of shit she was saying. But ultimately, they end up going to the second show, right? But the difference is here, Jack, I guess being that he's a sports writer, always looks through the paper fully, entirely from beginning to end. Even though back in those days it made sense because everybody read the newspaper then, right? There was no internet. Front page is a picture of the woman that got sawed in half in the first act. Right? In the original act that they saw.
Murder at restaurant.
Yeah, murdered at restaurant, and the murder was exactly as it happened in the show, which was she was sawed in half.
Yeah.
Jack doesn't say anything until after the second show, when they go and meet with him after. In this show, he does perform another act with another guest from the audience, and performs a different version of an act, which was instead of sawing the woman in half, he does.
Gets a big old nail, sticks her right in her fucking head with a hammer.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way he chooses his victims,
Oh,
is just like.
if you are a fan of Bela Lugosi, this to me was such a Bela Lugosi homage.
Of course.
Because it was just classic Lugosi. And it makes even more sense now, because now that I think about it, when Sherry was talking about Montag, she was like, "Oh, he gave me chills more than Wolfman gave me." So there was a reference already to a Universal Monsters movie. And then we get a Bela Lugosi iconic thing, and which a lot of people hated, but it became a Lugosi trait, which is always what Mac just did.
Just the close
up, the zoom in and the close up of the eyes and the bulging out to give the idea or the concept of some kind of hypnotism coming into play here. And that's what you see, and then you see a little backdrop, and then he does the thing with the hand. And Lugosi was always in so many, even when he was a mad scientist in a movie, there was no reason for him to have powers. But for some reason, as a mad scientist, he still did this thing.
Charming ass motherfucker.
You know, that was just Lugosi. But I fucking love Lugosi, man.
Yeah.
But it was just repetitive, and they always did it with Lugosi. But yeah, so we see that happen, brings up a victim or a guest,
either she comes or she's
thrown amongst the beasts.
She's pulled by
the husband
or boyfriend or some guy next to her. Like, here, you're the chosen one.
You're going.
She's just like,
and then when she looks up, like, what? And then all of a sudden she's like,
yeah. And then after a few seconds, the man is just, he comes to. He's like, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
And doesn't do anything. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
the way he, I'm so sorry. So they become like these stiff zombies, and he places them on the table the same way,
Well, this one
like
was the incline.
Hand. Yeah, one hand and then one hand.
Yeah, everything was on point. Like the way he did that, like even because I noticed that too. I was wondering, like, is she gonna like hold her own hand up or any of that stuff? And no, like the way he performed it was like she was just already unconscious almost. So her hand was here, and then he would lift up the brace just enough to where her hand wouldn't slide to be able to slide in the other arm.
Yeah.
And it was really well done in that degree. Like, it was very on point because they could have messed up and made it look like she was herself just holding her hand up like that or whatever.
And he proceeds to hammer this nail in her skull.
I think this might have been the goriest one. I would say gory, but maybe a little bit uncomfortable in a way. Maybe, I don't know. Well, the goriest kill in the movie, I think. No? Or do you still think it's the third one? It can't be the fourth one.
No.
I don't think the fourth one was as gory.
Actually, yeah, this could be it.
I think because it was more excessive, it becomes more gory.
He does more than what he plans to do.
Yeah.
He has a little more fun.
Yeah, he has a lot of fun with this one. And again, the sadistic smile while he does it all. Right?
Yeah.
So
these close-ups of his grinning, smiling. It was just
this one. Yeah, I think it is that. It's the gory with a bit of that uncomfortable feel because it was almost like, okay, this is fucking overkill, but at the same time, it's like, but it fucking looks great, right? So, and again, that's accomplishing the mission of what was said by him in the speech. Like, we are pulled into seeing this shit. I didn't look away. I didn't stand up and say I need to get the fuck out of this room right now.
No, don't show me this, Daddy.
It wasn't any of that.
Yeah.
But, without giving the excessive details, let's just say that he gets really playful with spiking this head. And
such sights to watch.
Yeah. We have such sights to show you. But it is really intense. And this is why, like, I would understand when they say statements like "not for the faint of heart," especially in the 70s.
Yeah.
In the 70s, this would definitely trigger some gagging and some throwing up. For 70s viewership, this would definitely be a trigger.
Especially since it was Lewis's second splatter film.
Yeah. You want to point out that detail too, right?
Oh, like, yeah.
He is the originator of the splatter film.
Splatter subgenre film.
Yeah.
Which the first film that was named that was Blood Feast, which Randall saw. I have yet to watch it.
I think if you are a fan of horror, if you are a fan of like gore and all that kind of stuff, if you're gonna ignore acting being top level, you're not gonna get top level acting with these movies. You're not. They're getting actors that are willing to subject themselves to over exaggerated gore and over exaggerated like shit. Like, these movies aren't meant to be Casablanca and aren't meant to be The Godfather. These aren't meant to be that. These are meant to be what they are, which is gore. So as long as you go into a movie like this knowing you're gonna enjoy Blood Feast, because it's not the greatest acting, but absolutely, just like this movie, not the greatest acting. We can say thoroughly that Sherry was the name of the girl?
Yeah.
Sherry, her best part in this entire movie was at the end. Acting wise. The rest of it was a lot of that okay, Q, go. Well, what do you mean?
And just
the tones.
Not an enormous amount, but a lot of like shots of her legs. Just sexy shots of her sitting down, legs crossed, being, Well,
I think that's just a selling point. Right? So, Yeah, I would say Blood Feast is one of those movies that, if you are into the genre of like that splatter and the gore and all that kind of stuff, it's definitely one of those you have to have on your list. It's definitely one. It's just that good, and it's one of those movies that I would say it's one of those that I would want to watch with Mac because I would want him to experience that too, and I would want us to come on here and talk about it.
And that's the thing, like you watch so many films, like you don't go in like, I'm gonna watch this for the acting, the dialogue. No, you just watch it for what it is. You just say, hey, look, it's from this time. You know, it's fucking completely different from what we get now. You just enjoy it for what it is. You know, if it's bad acting, hey, it's bad acting. But hey, they fucking gave it their all. You know.
Yeah.
What else? So basically, we just talked about the second kill, right?
Yeah, we talked about the second
The
kill. We
hammer
talked without going. Yeah, the spike to the skull. Without going into much detail, but you can pretty much put imagination into picture here. He gets pretty playful with a lot of stuff around here. But again, nobody in the audience sees his playfulness.
Mm-hmm.
The audience only sees the spike entering the head.
Yeah.
And exiting the head. So we still get left wondering what is real and what is not.
Mm-hmm.
What is the reality? Are we witnessing the murder of the girl, or are we witnessing an illusion?
Yeah.
Like that's where it becomes the question. But continues on, and all of a sudden, same thing happens. Girl gets up after being spiked in the head, walks away, sits back down because this time we did see her in the audience, and then the show ends. She gets up, she walks in a different direction as the person she came in with or she was sitting next to. That forced her up, basically, and
So that's the last time we saw.
That's the last time we saw her, and then we see the newspaper. And it's her on the headline.
Yeah.
Another murder.
Headline, nice.
Yeah. Nice. I had to fist bump that one. So, yeah, we get that. And Jack, again, looks at the newspaper, realizes this might be the same girl. The picture wasn't the best angle, so he couldn't know. So
yeah, he connects dots, like, oh, this is the second girl that went up on the show.
And this is when he gets involved. And this is what becomes the funny thing to me, which is like now we have a sports writer becoming a private eye.
But you pointed it out, I was like, holy shit, you're right.
Yeah, because it was like it took me until like the third kill, and I'm like, wasn't this guy just a sports writer? Like now he's like with the police, and now he's with like the other newsmen, like the guys who wrote the article on the murder, and now he's a part of it, and now he's like leading the thing. And then it took a while before the policeman was like, all right, we're tired of you thinking you're some kind of detective here.
Yeah, because his points were like a little bit off as well.
Everything was off on him.
So,
yeah, true. He was off on all of it. Like, I mean, he was like, maybe it's Montag himself, but how? It's impossible.
Yeah, we maybe got two killers or no one. How can he be at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They started theorizing that maybe there was somebody who was sitting in the audience watching the kills and performing them outside. But yeah, like it all became like a convoluted mess of trying to figure out how this could be performed. How can the kills happen so quickly after the show and nobody's around these people when they die? And that's what we couldn't even figure out because like in the end, we don't know what was real and what was not.
Exactly.
We don't know if the kills really happened or they did not. We don't know any of it because in the end we still get left with that question.
Or what we were watching, was it the full act where they were only given bits and parts or whatnot?
Yeah. They left that opening at the end. And I know, like we looked at some reviews and some of the reviews were like, oh, the ending made no sense. The way I looked at it, the ending to me made sense because it leaves you wondering what the possibility is.
Yeah, if you go back to the beginning. Yeah.
Could it be that Montag was imagining all of this, like he created an illusion for himself? Is he just a guy who fantasized about murder? Is he a guy that actually committed these murders? Is he a guy that actually has a power to fucking performed this and killed them later or some shit. Like, we don't know.
Somebody else's illusion. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know.
It left us with that question, and then obviously there's the added twist to it that I'm not going to share that made it even more confusing, but makes you wonder more questions.
Yeah.
Like, it was a whole entire beautiful piece right there. For me, at the end, it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Overall, what kill count? Give her about.
It was six on screen kills.
Mm-hmm.
That we noticed, right? Even though one of them we didn't see them die, but we are told later that person did die, and then 7 was including one that was off camera kill. It was a total of 5 women and axe, right? It was I'm not gonna mention all the kills, but let's say the Saw, the Spike, the third one with and then the 2 together. And then I think I can spoil that one. One mortician.
Mortician,
yeah. I won't explain why the mortician. And actually, we never got the answer for that either.
Yeah,
that one left us.
That was odd.
Yeah, that one left us.
What are you doing here?
I mean, I would assume that one has to do with evidence, right? Because what else are they going to do at that point?
No witnesses.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think this movie was exactly to title. Mm-hmm. You know, Wizard of Gore, even though he wasn't a wizard, he was a magician. But it absolutely just hit on point with the gore factor. You could tell it had the excessive, like, push on making sure you guys see the detail to these organs and intestinal trail and all this kind of stuff that you would see.
You should talk about the.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go to.
Oh,
there.
go, my bad.
Yeah, no, I was gonna pass it on to you. But that's what I was gonna say.
I got something else to say.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they did such a good job with it, and that was like my thing. I was like, man, like that shit looks really fucking good. Like everything looked legit. It didn't look like it was like plastic piping, because we've seen movies where it's just plastic piping covered in like fucking red sauce or some shit like that, you know? Like something that looks ridiculous where you're like, that's just like a fucking, like, a tube for, like, cars and shit like that, whatever.
Yeah, those fake props, this was it.
Exactly. So, but they used a neat trick for this, which probably was more allowable in the 70s than I think it is now. I don't think they allow this kind of stuff now. I'm not sure.
I mean, I don't know if you need permits or some fucking...
I would imagine if it's... Okay, so explain what it is that they use.
No, go for it.
No, I want you to explain it, because I want to break it down, but go.
Break it down. Degenerate into something new. Alright, Degeneration X. Cut. That was my last brain cell. So basically... Lewis's son took care of the gore in this film, which all the intestines, the spleens, all that stuff was actually real, not human parts, but 2 sheep carcasses. Which the film it took 2 weeks to film it, so the crew was holding on to these 2 sheep carcasses for the whole 2 weeks, and they covered that in pine. So I guess Randall said to try to control the smell, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you know, I would want to know if that works as some kind of like holder of
cover
like,
of
no, not in the sense, but how do you avoid the decomposition?
True.
You know, I wonder if it helps in the decomposition process too, like to like delay it a bit. You know, don't take any tips from that kind of shit. Like, I'm just like assuming things.
Hey, future serial killer.
Don't do that. Listen, we are not promoting the use of pine sol on any kind of remains. Like, that is not what we're doing here.
What does Eminem say? Hey, do you know what that bleach turns blood orange? Oh shit, classic.
But yeah, so they ended up using sheep carcasses, and
bro, I'm just thinking. My bad to cut you off.
No.
the women with the whole organs, like
Yeah.
how probably bad that smell was. Or,
I mean, if it was covered in pine sol, it might not have been as bad.
probably, yeah, they probably soaked
I mean,
that bitch.
I'm wondering. I mean, all of it matters to us to know how fresh it was. If it was something that they maintained in those pine sol, in the pine sol liquids over time to like kind of still have it intact. You know, it could be a lot of things.
Yeah,
you
probably
know,
different remedies.
but so what I was gonna say with that is like obviously I'm imagining that they didn't purposely slaughter 2 sheep just for the movie. That they probably went through a slaughterhouse or something like that and then just bought the intestinal trails or whatever.
With a bucket.
Yeah, I mean, some of that stuff is used for. I mean, I don't think with sheep, but they use things like that for chum and shit like that for fishing and different things that they'll use different parts of different animals from slaughterhouses and shit like that. So it would make sense to me. I'm hoping that they didn't just say, "Hey, we're gonna buy 2 sheep. We're only gonna use the intestinal trail." That's it. I'm pretty sure it was like. I mean, even in the 70s, I think it was required for animal. No, maybe not because because they did get in trouble, right? For Cannibal Holocaust, then they get in trouble. No, they didn't get in trouble. They just banned them in a couple of countries.
Okay.
But it wasn't banned in the United States. So I don't know when. Actually, let me look that up. When did the animal cruelty law come into effect?
But while Randy was looking that up, actually, Lewis, the director, actually hates the end product of this film due to budget cuts, the rushing of the film. He had a bigger idea with the gore they were gonna use, so that's just like one of those questions. Like, what if we had his final product? You know, what if we could have seen what he really had in mind for this film?
Oh no, yeah, 1937 it became illegal to perform animal cruelty in movies.
So they did it somehow, like some legal way, to obtain those carcasses.
Yeah, there has to be a process, but who knows? You know how long it took for them to like put those protections into effect fully. You know, and because this is in. I mean, 1937. That's like really early on into the beginnings of like film. So that's really early on, but I know that there's been. I mean, we know that there's been killings of animals.
We got remember the I Drink Your Blood?
Yeah.
The only real animals were the rats.
Yeah.
But
they were already dead beforehand.
Well, lab rats. There.
Yeah, they were lab rats, but they were killed ahead of time. But in Hannibal Holocaust, they literally did kill the tortoise.
Yeah, I remember you did.
I mean, okay, so not that they killed him on camera, but they completely film a whole dissection of the tortoise on camera, and it was like while the body was still convulsing alive.
Well, those are probably.
So it was strong. Like that is one of the reasons I tell myself like I want to own the movie because the cover for me is one of the most iconic kind of horror covers you can imagine. But I do not want to watch that movie again because that scene alone made me the most uncomfortable I've ever been in any fucking movie.
Yeah, we'll watch it again. I'll order some pizza, bro.
Shaped like a turtle. It literally was though. It was literally the most and I sat through and watched it because I felt like I need to watch it through because I want to experience like is this gonna make any sense to me or whatever. And the idea was that their defense was that none of it went to waste because they literally did film in a place where there was tribal. I think that's what it was. I think there was tribal men there or whatever, and they helped. That they used the meat to feed them and all that stuff, so they didn't go to waste, and the kill wasn't for a waste or anything like that. But still, it was the fact that they put the real killing on camera or the completion of it, you know. Yeah. But it's really one of the roughest things that I've probably ever fucking seen on camera.
You should see slaughterhouses, man. Those videos, killing of pigs, those squeals are like human.
No, yeah, that I mean, but that's not a movie. That's that's just. Documentary.
Well, wait till I buy The Wild Beast from 1984. I've been trying to buy it on Blu-ray. I might have to get it through Amazon.
They killed an actual. Well,
it's a movie like based in a zoo. So there's a bunch of animals. One of my favorite childhood films.
What's it called?
The Wild Beasts. Was it 1984. It's like a puma or a black panther in the cover.
With an S at the end?
Yeah, 1984.
Oh,
You're
shit.
probably gonna like where the Wild Beast. That'll probably pop up.
Hold on, this is going to do a whole different thing I didn't want it to do.
It's free on YouTube from the last time I remember, but I have it on VHS.
Oh, it's just wild. Oh, yeah, no, the wild beasts. Dangerous zoo animals escape from their cages.
Yeah, due to contamination in the water, dude, the cover is just
Contaminated with PCP.
There you go.
And the animals go crazy and get loose.
It's fucking.
And there's another animal killed on this one? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they use real animals and shit. So, I mean, probably not as bad as the Holocaust movie, but
Well, yeah, I mean, that... Dude, it's really fucking bad. Dude, the fact is, like, they basically show you the organs still, like, fucking pumping blood out and all that kind of shit. So it is... And they... Like, I mean, I've seen the shit in nature shows and shit like that, but it feels like it's something different when they filmed it for the purpose of a movie. You know, when you're seeing something on the History Channel and you're seeing, like, when a lion destroys a fucking zebra and you're seeing the way it'll eat it alive,
nature,
that's nature doing its course.
Nature
But for
prey,
some reason, when you're seeing, like, people cutting into that fucking... And they just stay on that fucking... They focus on that turtle's fucking corpse for, like, 10 minutes. That's what it feels like.
yeah.
And all you're seeing is just like that. For 10 minutes. And just like, dude, come on, move the fuck on, bro. What are you doing? Like, I get it. Turtle's dead.
He ain't never coming back.
He's not a Ninja Turtle anymore. I get it. Sorry.
Rip Crush from Finding Nemo.
Sorry, Donatello. You're gone. You know, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, it was one of those things where it was a little bit, you know, over the top. And real. Because that was the problem, was that they used a real tortoise for that.
So yeah, I guess ending about the two sheep carcasses. The budget for this film was $60,000.
Completely went off track with all of that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I wouldn't mind. It's just for our one audience member. It's like talking about dead carcasses. But yeah, the budget was $60,000 and about estimated around there, which, you know, filmed in 2 weeks, not too bad.
Yeah.
One of the funny things is the makeup they used on Sager to make him look old, and like I guess I don't know that the hair sprayed his hair white or whatnot.
Like yeah, see. That's just an image of how it starts, and then they like literally focus on top of it for like a really long time. But you see the process of this.
Yeah, yummy.
You know, and that I've watched people do a catch and cook on the turtle, and it doesn't throw me off. But for some reason in that movie, it seemed like it was done with like malintent.
Okay,
like it wasn't with like they were just like, hey, let's kill a fucking turtle.
I get you.
You know what I'm saying? I like with the purpose of like, I mean, because I would definitely eat a turtle soup. But
fucked up.
But for some reason, like in this intent, like the way it was intended to be used in this movie seems like it wasn't done with any intent of like, you know, for the film. It was like it was more a lustful situation where it was like, yo, I have an idea. How about we grab a turtle and just like fucking kill it up? You know. Anyway, let's continue. $60,000 was the budget.
Si, senor.
Filmed in 2 weeks. The budget is noticeable. It's noticeable in the movie. It pretty much stays within 3 locations for the most part, right? Which is the theater, the woman's house, Sherry's house. We get a.
Was her house or the production room or?
Well, her house. Remember, we see her house. At the end. What was that? And then
the bedroom.
Yeah, which they might have used the same bedroom for Jack's place too.
Correct.
So it might have been the same thing. They just changed the setup. But so we witness
police station.
Yeah, I was going to mention the police station.
Okay.
So we see the stage, right? We see the TV station. We see her room and probably Jack's room at the same time, and the police station. Oh, and the newsroom.
The newsroom
where the guy works.
True.
So it's like 5 sets, basically, and then like one outside scene, which was terrible.
Oh yeah.
The lighting, so this is where I was saying the budget's noticeable, because this is where they were like, listen, we're gonna have to film this at night. Just turn on the high beams. Don't know a car is coming. Don't know on camera it's a car. I know you can't see the car.
We couldn't see shit.
I know you can't see the driver. I know all we see is the beams. Just leave it like that.
Go forward.
Leave it like that. This is why Harold fucking... What was it, Harold? What was his name? Harold, right? Harold Gordon Lewis?
No.
No, not Harold. Henry.
No.
Harold.
No.
What was it?
Herschel.
Herschel.
All right, Herschel.
Forgot his
Kisses,
name.
Herschel
I give him
Gordon
every
Lewis.
H name except H. Herschel.
Dirty.
So this is why he was so pissed, because they probably told him, like, listen, we gotta get fuck up.
Yeah.
So I need proper lighting for this. Sorry, no more money, bro. Finish
I
it.
remember there was a scene, like, when he got in the car, he got on the bump, like, you could tell, like,
Yeah.
he got on the curb and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I even told Randall, like, yo, let me turn off the lights.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do justice. We were even more blind.
Yeah,
to
they
what
did.
was going on.
They did nothing. They did nothing at all. The lighting, and that's it. And then when we finally get lighting on a street, you could tell they just grabbed the spotlight and just say, "Aim it at the girl," because it looked like it was just a spotlight, not like the entire area was lit enough to give her, a sufficient life, sufficient light. No, life. She had no more of that. Her life was already gone at this point. But yeah, to get sufficient light, but it was obvious because it was just a circle around her.
A circle of life. So yeah, again, like I said, this has a remake of 2007 version,
which we have to watch now, because as soon as Jeffrey Combs is in a movie, I want to fucking watch it.
And this gentleman, Crispin Glover.
Yeah.
Which he did Willard, the movie with the rats. He was the bad guy from Charlie's Angel.
Yeah.
Who cut like the piece of a hair and just sniff it.
He's a good villain actor.
That's how I remember him from. Probably other things. Oh, Back to the Future. He was
Marty's dad,
Marty's
right?
dad, yeah.
Yeah, he's Marty's dad. But yeah,
this movie had a reference to in Juno. You watched it? Have you yet to watch it?
Yeah. There was a reference to. Well, the reference was that Juno with her dad is watching the movie on VHS, so you get a quick glimpse of the movie on the screen, and yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think, man. So, with the movie itself, obviously we know acting was not its best.
You think?
Acting was not its best. Who, for you, and I think this is going to be the same for me, was the outperformer in the movie? The one that stood out the best, yeah.
The best? In a good way?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Montag.
Yeah.
That was, like, the only one actually, not that I cared for, but, like, that was interesting. That I wanted to see, like, what's going to happen. Excuse me, to him.
It kind of becomes like Otis, right? Like,
yeah.
In Otis, if it wasn't for the villain character, being the way he was, the movie doesn't do as well.
Yeah, these characters in this film, like, I didn't care for them, especially fucking...
Sherry.
Not Sherry, no, Jack, there you go. He was annoying as hell.
Yeah, Jack was a little annoying.
The cops were just dumb as hell, standing around.
This is the funny thing, too. Like, there was, like, no cop in an actual, like, patrol uniform either. Like, all the cops, like, one of the detectives was, like, in a very vibrant purple suit. For some fucking reason.
Man, those ties,
and the way he talked was almost like he wanted to talk like a New York detective. Was like, I don't know what to tell you, Like I'm talking with his shoulders a lot.
Guido,
it's like you're not thinking of things that we're thinking of.
Yeah.
It was funny, but again, in these movies, I don't expect quality acting. I expect quality gore. I expect
which, like I said,
the story to be interesting enough to captivate, but not to sell me. Like I'm not expecting this to be something that makes me believe it or anything like that, or for it to be so fantastical that I'm just like start imagining this for real.
What I did love too, that there weren't there wasn't a lot of any backstory to each character. Which even if they showed it or they said it, it would have just threw me off. It would have been a wasteful.
Yeah.
It would have been a waste.
Yeah, there was no true origin story to anybody, not even Montag. And Montag would probably be the only one that maybe, if they give any kind of influence, like if they would have read like the backstory on, like if the police would have actually done some work in this movie,
held them,
right? And no, not even held them, but like looked him up, right? And gotten something from like, well, we see that he traveled here from,
Armenia. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever, like some random fucking place that you don't expect, whatever. And they're like, well, and there he apparently has no record of living there ever, but apparently he was there. Some random bullshit.
Or even like try to get fingerprints, you said like a back.
They didn't do anything. They didn't do anything.
They just wanted to catch him in the act.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let these fucking women get killed, but
Let's serve him up and see what happens.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, he has another show tonight. Okay, let's watch this one. And let's see if maybe it happens again.
Let's pay for the tickets.
Yeah, let's pay.
Sure.
Literally pay for tickets to be there again. And witness and see if maybe it happens again. If it does, then we'll find out. If not, then I guess,
Dude, there was no sign of any gun holster, nothing.
Nothing. There was nothing
No
at
handcuffs. No even... Well, they only got one siren, which was the fucking ambulance that took one of the girls out.
Yeah.
Away, I'm sorry.
Which, it was the classic ambulance that ends up becoming an Ecto in Ghostbusters. So immediately what we wanted to hear was that,
right?
But no, that's not the siren we got. We got a regular ass ambulance siren.
Correct.
But
yeah, like I said, it's gonna be the same answer.
Yeah.
Montag.
Yeah, for me it was Montag. I mean, I already gave enough detail, I think, from my end on why he stood out to me. I think the overacting made this character so much more unique. And I'm wondering how Crispin did it in his version, because Crispin's a solid actor. Like, that guy knows how to pull off the shit. Yeah. So I don't know if they wanted to intentionally follow up with the overacting, or... Because I remember seeing the trailer, it didn't look like he was overacting it. I think from the glimpse that I remember seeing, it looked like he was, doing his thing. But I think for this version of the movie, the over dramatic acting that Ray Sager, the crew member Ray Sager, put into the character, just made him work even better.
Then
it just fit for me. It fit for me.
He came, and then he's done a bunch of projects. And he's a producer, big producer.
Yeah.
He actually produced a pretty well-known film. One moment.
Did he do anything before this movie, or was this his first?
Yeah. What was the movie? He produced Prom Night 4. I mean, it's not that big compared to Prom Night.
Yeah.
But, following the franchise, he's done a few things.
But anything before Wizard of Gore is my question.
For 1970, and we're 90s right now.
That's what I'm wondering. If this was
okay, he produced Prom Night 2.
Okay. So his first production role
83
was in 1983. What about as an actor?
As an actor, yeah.
Yeah, no, he did do a couple of things before.
The Gruesome Twosome, Blast Off Girls. Okay.
But he was just a part of the crew for this movie. He wasn't on as an actor. So he might have been doing like just side roles, right? Like I'm imagining.
Yeah.
Like he was just doing.
Yeah, shit, just for the hell of it,
Yeah, but yeah. So ultimately, like we said, it was one of those movies that if you are into like the splatter horror, it's not even horror; it's splatter gore, right? Because there's no real horror.
Yeah.
To this movie.
I mean, if you consider seeing guts and blood horror.
I mean, it can be horror to some people. It can be nauseating to some, but definitely.
My Taco Bell, drinking my cafecito.
That's right.
This man knows how to make some coffee. Some of that good old OG crack.
Yep.
As you can tell, it's fucking what? 5:30 a.m.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, IMDb gave this movie a 5.3. Rotten Tomatoes, the audience, over 2,500 reviews,
Yeah.
gave it a 44%. Critics have not, I guess they haven't gotten any...
Yeah, Lindsay, she's covering her eyes. Yeah, probably because we're talking about the nauseating, the nauseating gore.
Coffee? So yeah, the critics, I guess they haven't had enough reviews to give it a percentage, but that's just blank.
But the audience score was
44%.
Yeah.
Which I still think it's positive.
I think that makes sense, you know, because again, the acting is probably the biggest detriment to the movie itself, right?
That's a nice big word, sir. She said, not a fan of gore.
Yeah, but love coffee.
Fucking right, that Al Gore guy, man. Just wanna,
going around trying to save
my wit.
Going around trying to save the planet, Al Gore. What do you
trying to save me.
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? Or is that song? Yeah.
But yeah, I think it makes sense because not so many people can look past the bad acting and just enjoy a terrible movie like we do, right?
Oh yeah, that's the thing. That's another thing people keep. Not that people keep, but have mentioned.
Yeah.
You guys are biased. You guys love all these films. Well, fuck it. Hey, we enjoy any type of movie.
Hey, he created the internets. Yeah, that's the thing.
Like what?
But yeah, it's.
What is that? Was that reference? Is that a
Gore? But yeah, so
God, I'm fucking lost.
Yeah, the percentage makes sense to me because like we were saying, a lot of people look past the acting level. And,
like what Randall said.
They can't look past the acting level and just enjoy a terrible movie for what it is.
Yeah, like Randall said, we looked up some personal reviews and people were just being super picky about the makeup, the acting. It's like, yo, shut up and just enjoy it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, time for rating, right?
I think it's no, hold on. When it comes
to 2-year-old Michelle, Randall, you are the father.
Right, so which ends up becoming your favorite kill in the movie?
I know yours.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to pick a different one. We got five kills.
You don't have to pick a different one. It could be the same exact one. It's
a
better not. Yeah. I'm not telling you not to be different, but I'm not telling you to change it because of me.
Oh, maybe give the.
We agree with
maybe
many
give the
things.
Audience of one or two. Well, I think that's one of them is you.
Yeah, one of them is me. Yes.
So we got half Spike. The fucking Flavor Pound Town.
And then
two girls.
Yeah.
I'd say the first kill, the sawn in half, which was our introduction.
They did a pretty good job with the guts on that one.
My first introduction to Herschel Gordon Lewis's Splatter Gore.
Yeah, I would say that was intense.
So that was nice.
Again, it was using those sheep carcasses to create
the zooming in of the organs and whatnot was really well done.
Yeah. Plus, the thing that we kept pointing out about Montag is the fact that he sadistically plays with the organs and the intestines while performing the act. So, and while we aren't seeing, or the audience isn't seeing what he's performing there, he's doing it, right? We're seeing him literally pick up organs and play around like he's doing Play-Doh.
Remember the first where you pointed it out while he's playing with it, one of the pieces of organs falls in her mouth.
Yeah.
And she spits. I think she spits it out or turns her head.
Yeah.
As to make it fall.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about that sheep carcass organ. Oh man.
Yeah. That must have been.
I give her props. She kept that.
Yeah. She didn't get off the table. Yeah. She kept on that scene as is. That could have been probably pretty traumatic. Yeah. And I guess my favorite kill ends up being the spike. Just because it was so uncomfortable, I think. and his the sadistic nature that he shows in that scene.
That and then
He really pulled it off, man. He really pulled off that creep vibe.
and then the smirk you noticed when he was pulling down the.
Oh yeah. So I mean, we've already mentioned it a couple of times. So one of them is like a pound press, and yeah, there's just one scene where it was just filmed so perfectly for that angle, where he's about to perform it. He's looking at the audience, and then he breaks the fourth wall like a couple of times in the movie too. But it seems like he's breaking that fourth wall in this scene, and he just like looks directly at the camera and just does the most perfect like sadistic grin while he starts lowering that pound press. And it was just fucking like immediately I was like, dude, that was amazing. And I was like, what? I missed it. And I was like, rewind. I was like, just look at his fucking face, dude. Just look how he lands the sadistic nature at that point. And it was like, damn, like nailed it, you know?
Yeah, if you really pay attention, you'll like something from each kill.
Yeah.
You'll choose something that you like.
All right, rating time. You want me to start or you start?
Yeah, go for it. I need some.
Okay. So, due to the gore and the creativity with the kills, because I thought they were creative.
Yeah.
They're technically like not like. It's not like saying like Friday the 13th kind of kills where it's like he spikes them up on the tree or something, or it's the sleeping bag kills where it's like, okay, that's different. Like these weren't different kills. It was just creative to how they concluded them and how they did them and everything like that. So I think that's what uplifts it to me. There is the detriment of the bad acting, obviously, that brings it down a notch for me and can't make it like a perfect 10 out of that. But I think I enjoyed this movie enough to give it an 8.5.
God damn, boy.
Yeah.
That's a huge bitch.
Yeah. That's just personal for me. Mainly because I enjoyed Montag as the person as he was, and I think they did really good job with the gore factor. Like Herschel Gordon Lewis knocked it out the park with what they created with that, and him and his son put together for that. Yeah, I know, Lindsay, it's high. And I might be exaggerating it, but it's just personal preference for me. It seems like, for me, Montag stole the show, and he made up for all the incredibly bad acting and lack of conclusion for a story. Yeah, you know, I think that favored the movie in the end. Like obviously we would want answers, but it left us in a stage where we started coming up with conclusions. And not hating the movie for not giving us an answer. We just started coming up with ideas.
Because speaking about like getting answers, even Sherry, the midwife, mortician, the Mormon, she even questions like at the end, right? She goes like, "Oh, did Montag do this?"
Yeah.
You know, so she kind of questions our questions and you know, we're like, okay. You know.
Yeah, there's a nice little end scene there where we're still trying to figure the shit out. It's before he tries to perform his final stunt
to the world,
right? To the world.
Yeah.
And she's there like, but if it's him, how is he doing it? And like it starts becoming that thing. It was like, but if he has this, like, what is it that he has something like? And it becomes that thing where both me and Mac were like, I know, right? Like we want to know, and we start talking with her. Basically, tell us more. We need to know why.
I was just like,
but yeah, in the end, like I said, like we were left wondering and putting theories together that we may be completely wrong on the theory, but in the end, it left us wondering instead of like being like, man, I can't believe it didn't fucking tell us shit.
Yeah, exactly. We're putting more effort into these theories than my weight loss, you know.
And and I think that was the plus, right? You know, that was a plus on it. I know it's high. It's high, and I know it's probably not going to be close to where you're putting it, but for me,
I'm putting it a half a point more than what I originally was going to put it. Because you know, you're right. Montag, was it Ray Sager?
Yeah, Ray Sager.
I don't know why I was going to call it Raymond, but yeah. Yeah, he stole the show, literally. But I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
It's just the fact that clap for me, Lindsay, clap. I can't hear you. Was that Hulk Hogan? But yeah, 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 because, fuck, dude, I really wanted to see the final product that Lewis had in mind, dude.
Yeah, that would have been beautiful to be able to see.
That took a lot. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Of course, the bad acting.
I think the worst acting had to be. We didn't talk about it. So.
Oh my god.
That's right.
My god.
Oh, she's clapping. She's clapping. The bad acting.
Don't say sorry. It was a joke.
The bad acting was one significant scene. Now, outside of this one person, the worst actor probably for me would have been. I think I have to say the girl. I think I have to say Sherry. Except for that final scene.
Yeah.
And I think it's because we got so much of her talking. Even her scene on TV, because she runs that nose.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was a horrible, horrible, horrible performance.
Exactly.
Like, nothing convinced me that you're supposed to be hosting the show. But, yeah, for me it was that. But there's one kill, right? And we keep telling you, like, they leave okay, and then all of a sudden they're dead by the way they died on the show.
Yeah, most of them are found by their husband or boyfriend or whatnot.
Or in the middle of a restaurant.
Yeah.
Whichever way. It happens somehow. But...
What is her guts doing in my tacos?
But this was the girl that we mentioned, one of the kills was the pound press. This was the pound press girl. She's in her bed. Husband walks in, turns on the light, and sees her dead. And this is his reaction. Like, I have to stand up for this. I have to, like,
pretend
stand up.
I'm the dead girl.
Yeah, let's do that. Alright. Turn on the light.
Yeah, he gets on his knees and he's like, his arms are just spread wide open, like.
Yeah.
And then he's like. Yeah.
It was like a weird position that he took, and it wasn't like a normal position one takes for anything. Like, it made no sense. Like, it was like they told him, look, just go in there and freak out. And he was like, how do I freak out? Just throw your hands up and do something.
Right.
Okay, we're filming now. We have to do it in one take, so don't fuck it up. Ah! Fuck, you fucked it up.
Yeah.
We can't do it again. Let's go.
And then fucking, then there was another close up, and he's just, doing this whole fucking, I don't know, Professor X type shit. Just like he's got a headache from
I forgot about that part.
From viewing his fucking.
I just kept thinking about this thing because it was the most freaky part. Was this
viewing his dead girl and whatnot? He's like, this headache. I'm gonna kill.
I just saw myself up.
Yeah.
I look so stupid doing that face. But yeah, he does that thing. He's like, almost like his brain's bleeding.
Yeah, how am I gonna clean these bloodstains?
Like, it's not the reaction you would expect out of somebody who just found their wife dead in bed. Like, none of it hit.
What was most believable was a report from the cops saying that somebody heard a male scream and they found the husband with the wife's head like laying on him and shit. Like, that's believable, but
they kind of fucked up with that part for me though.
¿Por qué?
Because they said they found him with the wife's head in his lap, but the rest of the body was on the bed. She didn't get sawed in half. Like, this was the girl who got pound pressed in the gut. So her body wasn't separated.
Probably try to move her.
Maybe. Hey, what's up, Rocky?
You're Rocky.
Yeah, maybe he tried to like live by. But honey.
Oh, let me guess. Let me get 30 minutes with this half.
That's terrible. Oh God.
She won't say no to me tonight. Hey, Rocky.
Oh my God.
You walked in at the right moment.
Oh, that was amazing. Oh.
It's not little anymore. It's fucking 6 or something, bro. I haven't fucking slept.
All right. Anyway,
God.
that's the ending of the rating for that. Before we go, I wanted to do this on camera because there is a special surprise here, and it's something that I want to do on camera.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea what is this.
Yeah, he has no idea what this is.
Is it anthrax?
So let's do this.
Oh, shit.
I thought this would be an amazing time to do it on camera with him. You see? Okay.
Can I peek?
Okay, yeah. No, it's coming out now.
Come out.
Wait, hold on. All right. You can lift up,
I can't,
show it to
I
the
can't
world.
see it.
Show it to the world. And I think that's enough for the world. Now you can look at it.
Oh shit, son!
Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys a close up real quick. I got one for me and one for him, but
And my
it
favorite
is
color.
from You're In for a Scare, which he's officially retired of making pins, but he's not retired of designing them. But this is the Scream Ghostface, which wasn't the original name for him, but you know, Ghostface is the term that he got pinned with.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm talking over here when the microphone's over here.
The original name was Father of Death.
Yeah, so it's from You're In for a Scare. I don't know if you heard what I was saying from over there, but yeah, he's officially retired on making pins himself, but he's not done designing them. He's still designing for another pin maker named A. Myers, which
Nice.
she does great work too.
Definitely
But yeah,
gonna
so this is
follow.
basically like kind of a combination of Ghostface and the Misfits. A lot of people know what the Misfits are by just seeing that logo itself. Like that logo is the most identifiable logo
That one?
that was.
What?
Yeah, he took everything out
Damn.
because he's retiring the pins.
Oh,
And then A. Myers, I think, I forgot how to spell it.
A. Myers
yeah.
pins.
Yeah. Yeah.
So A. Myers _ pins with double Z.
Yeah. Yeah, that's who's doing the pins that he designs now. Well, she's one of the pin makers that's doing some of his designs. She's doing a Scream design he just did recently, too, a Ghostface design. This one.
You can't kill a ghost.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I wanted to surprise Mac with that.
Yeah, those are awesome.
And you know, one of the more awesome times recently is we got to go see the Scream movie together and enjoy that one. He gifted me one of these lovely hoodies as well.
I'm not gonna stand up.
Yeah, no, you're good. One of these like awesome hoodies he gifted me for Christmas as well, and you know, I thought it would be perfect to hit him up with a little Ghostface pin from the amazing work done by You're In for a Scare. I already told him in the post too, like, you know, it's sad to see him stop making pins, but I'm glad his art's going to continue to live on through other pin makers or whatever, as long as he keeps on designing, because he does great work.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm looking at his stuff
So
right
I
now.
definitely enjoyed a lot of his pins. Yeah, I have a stack of his pins somewhere here. But anyway, we'll close out with that. Yeah, we got matching hoodies. But yeah, so we'll close out with that. We're gonna point out that the giveaway will go live on Monday. On Monday officially, it will go live. We already have everything set down for it. It will go live on Monday, and you guys will be able to start partaking in that as of what date is it land? February 7th.
Yeah.
So from February 7th, we will leave it till what?
13th announced it on Monday, the 14th, maybe Valentine's Day. I don't know, or what?
We'll make it a Valentine's giveaway.
Valentine's horror gift, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
And out there, you know,
we'll announce the winner.
if you're lonely out there, you know, you might get a little something from the Ram.
What's that stick with blue? Oh, this was my makeshift bushcraft wand because it was called the Wizard of Gore, and we had no idea what it was. So we thought, I mean, for a second I was like, maybe he's going to be an actual wizard.
Yeah, with a
which in
wand.
the end, maybe he was a wizard. Maybe that's why, you know, he was able to create either reality
Giving us the illusion
or
that he's
whatever.
a magician.
So yeah, for our little reel, I created a wand for Mac to use in our little reel to let people know what we were going to watch.
I was in his room just sitting on my phone. Not sitting on my phone, he's sitting using my phone. And then all I hear is just the fucking machete just...
Yeah.
I was like, yo, you sharpening that shit? And I just see his back just, give me a minute.
So yeah, I kind of bushcrafted this wand out of a stick with shit that was in my yard. So yeah, that's what that was. But yeah, so I think we'll close this out. We're gonna be back real soon again and doing another review. And there's a couple of them. I think I want to do that in breakfast from the DVDs too. But there's a few things that you have that we still need to watch.
Oh, there's a bunch of shit.
There's so much.
Oh, that Dead and Breakfast. I was thinking, hey, you should do that in the morning.
That'd be a good one to do.
It'll be
Yeah, we'd have to arrange a day for us to have literally.
Sunday.
Should we do the review while having breakfast? Or should we watch the movie while having breakfast?
You choose.
Okay,
we could do it
the-
this Sunday. I could come in the morning, and I just gotta leave in the early afternoon, and then we got the whole movie thing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're gonna go watch Jackass Forever.
But yeah, before that, I have to leave. So my birthday, I gotta go to. But yeah, I could come in the morning. We could do that.
Yeah, we can figure it out. We'll figure it out. I mean, we either do it this Sunday or, I guess if anything, worst case scenario would be the following Sunday, right? Because that's probably the best time to do it in the morning.
13th. Yeah, well, that's Super Bowl, so yeah. I'll just have to
The
leave.
Super Bowl 13?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I got
Which is terrible. I used to work for ESPN and I'm not even paying attention.
Yeah, because that day I gotta go to a cousin's house for that day.
Hey, we'll figure it out.
Morning.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, that's definitely a good idea. Let's do a breakfast. And
A
you know what?
Colombian
I'll
breakfast
also post that in our post. I'll leave it up to the
Have
people who
breakfast
follow
with
us.
Have breakfast with us.
If you want us to have the breakfast on the review, which means I may be cooking for the beginning part of the review. Either that, or we're gonna go do like McDonald's breakfast or some shit, and just get like big breakfast with hot cakes. That actually sounds very appetizing.
All right, now, yeah. Shit, I'm about to get breakfast and I'm playing. I'm gonna knock the fuck out.
I gotta work.
Yeah, you're right.
But anyway, thank you all for joining us. Thank you to anybody who stuck around. Rocky, Lindsay, thank you for jumping on, even though the time is super crazy right now.
Yeah.
Well, actually, not much for Lindsay, because Lindsay is on the West Coast. But, you know, still.
It's 2 in the morning for her, okay?
Yeah, it's still kind of, still kind of late.
Yeah, so our reviews are probably gonna be late. It's just my own shit, I can't fucking talk. My schedule changed from work, so we'll try to do it either late, like Friday nights, like tonight, or probably Sunday, mornings or afternoons.
Yeah, we'll figure out a schedule, and I mean the most thing is that we want to try and find a way to get something out to you guys, some content on here for you guys to enjoy. But yeah, there's a lot of like work in progress going on in the background. Aside from just like Mac and his work schedule, there's other stuff that I'm handling here myself. So, we're trying to figure out a schedule, and that's the only reason there's been delays with the giveaway even starting. And, that part is literally on me. But I want to get it done, and I want to get it to you guys as soon as possible. So, on Monday is my deadline, and if I don't do it, then Mac gets to, like,
Give a little pow pow.
Yeah, on the live, he'll get to, like, pow pow me if I'm even, like, a day late.
Lindsay, you want to watch this. See how much homeboy could take.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But, yeah. Thank you, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the show. We hope you enjoyed the review. And the silliness that comes with us doing this at 5 in the fucking morning.
Forgot to tell the viewers, you can watch this for free on Tubi.
Oh, yeah.
Just download the Tubi app, create a profile to save what you watch.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you watch it, let us know.
Why you gotta kill Montag? There was no fire, though, so I guess he's not dead.
Illusion. Yeah, let us know what you think. If you do watch it, if you could bear it, Did you last the whole movie, 10 minutes,
It is. If you get any kind of queasy with blood, it is one of those rough ones. Because it is heavy on the blood, and it's heavy on the organs.
Yeah. Watching on an empty stomach. But yeah, thank you guys again. Appreciate you keeping up with our silliness and randomness and rawness and
Cut it out. Montag, out.